So, we are here at the Millersburg Glass Museum in downtown Millersburg, Ohio, and I am here with Chris. Chris, tell us about you.
Well, I'm Chris Sieverdes. I was, in my previous career, I was a college professor at Clemson University. I moved to Amish country in Ohio, here in Millersburg, the center of Amish country. In terms of my background, why did I move here? My parents both were German. I have a speaking knowledge of German. I was raised, first language was German. My father came from Höxter, Germany, where he was involved in the glass business, and I worked in a factory there to paint glass and to paint porzellan, as the word is. And I decided to retire to a cooler place. When I say cooler, I mean temperature. South Carolina is hot, but I enjoyed my time there. But I came here because of my German heritage. I came here because I grew up on a dairy farm in Virginia, and the Amish country reminded me of that. And I like a small town, much more, than urban living. And I decided, when I got into town, I decided that I hear about Millersburg Glass all the time, and people have it hidden in their homes, and you don't see it anywhere. So I decided to purchase a collection from a collector in town and start a Millersburg Glass Museum. And after that, I ended up moving the location from downtown Millersburg to here next to the Historical Society at 434 North Washington Street. My father's legacy was in glass. He took me to trade shows. I learned how to pack glass, and I learned all the rules about, respecting glass. And there's nothing worse than a sound of glass breaking.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate this. I started with this investment, you might say, in glass for people to see it. And I have, in the meantime, expanded the Glass Museum in the new location to 10 times more value than what I had when I started.
Because the glass that's in the museum is almost all yours.
It is all mine. I am the owner of the glass and the curator. There is one piece of glass that's an exception, a pipe humidor, and I like my association with the Millersburg Glass Association, working with them and being a visible component. So
you decided to share it with everybody here.
I'm not addicted. What I say is I'm an educator. I educate about glass. I want to tell people the stories about glass. There are many, many stories, all kinds of stories about patterns, about the molds, about the people, about John Fenton and what he did, and how everybody reacted to what he did, and how in the 1960s, Millersburg Glass, became significant in a new way, and it began to be recognized for its value, being the top, certainly at the top in terms of Carnival glass value.
So if I'm going to come to Millersburg and I'm going to come to the museum, what am I going to see?
You're going to see a collection of just under 400 pieces. We have the individual pieces of glass, crystal and Carnival. We have molds. We have the tools that were used in the factory. We have a lot of pictures that display the inside of the factory and things like that. And people will see a 3.5-minute video. We have docents on weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays during most of the year, 3/4 of the year. We have tours, guided tours, to take people and to really understand the story of Millersburg Glass. And invariably, people are delighted. People from, whether they're from the United States or from other countries, they really appreciate what we have to say.
So you have at least some very iconic pieces here. that people aren't going to get a chance to see anywhere else.
Absolutely. We have, I had on loan for a while the cobalt blue people's vase. And I followed it to an auction, and I ended up purchasing it for the collection. And what was nice, very refreshing for me, was everybody, when I got the bid for that blue people's vase, people cheered and clapped. And I thought, wow, I've been competing against people to buy this, and now they're cheering it because they knew it was going to go to the Glass Museum and have a home within 3/10 of a mile from the original factory, which also stands to this day.
And it's shared with everyone because of that. Your opportunity to buy it meant that there was also an opportunity for everyone here to see it. It didn't go into a private collection where it's not going to be shared.
It's visible. And then what happened was that I went crazy, and I ended up buying 2 more people's vases within the year. And so I have the marigold, which is one of a kind people's vase, and I have the cobalt blue one that's one of a kind, and then I have an amethyst one also. And so the whole group of them are a value of some $400,000.
Yeah,
just there.
Yeah. So one other thing that you currently have in the museum is opportunity to see some multi-fruits and flowers pictures.
We have 5 of the multi-fruits and flowers large pictures. They're all together, all on one shelf, can be seen together. We hopefully, when they get sold in the fall at an auction, we hope that maybe somebody will keep them all, 5 of them together. But right now they're together. And if you want to see them, you come now and take a look between now and October, first weekend in October.
And that's the Millersburg Festival when they have the
Antique Festival.
Get together.
Right.
Okay.
Now, we have 2 mysteries associated with Millersburg Glass. Having been involved in historical research and so on, I've been trying to track the ownership trail, you might say, of all the people's vases, originally Holland vase. And I've made progress, and you would think that after only being out available for 105 years, that I would be able to track the history easily. Well, it's not so easy, and I need help to figure out the truth behind who owned what and when. And it's not to expose anything. We're not exposing the prices unless somebody wants to, of course, but privately held sales are going to stay private. And that's one mystery. The other mystery is why the people's vases, or the Holland vase at the time, why it was made in the first place. And we speculate that John Fenton is a marketing man through and through. And he marketed his wares very well. And he wanted in the royal family, the Dutch, in the Netherlands, the royal family had Juliana was born to the family, and she basically saved the monarchy and kept intact the chain of relationships in the family, the royal family, Orange-Nassau family. What we're trying to figure out, we saw something that indicated that 10 of these people's vases, or Holland vases at the time, were sent to the Netherlands. We know that the royal family during World War II moved to Ontario, to Ottawa, and with their family, they were still building a family at the time. We think maybe some of these vases trickled back down to the United States, but we don't have proof of any of that. And it's a mystery, and we need to solve that mystery so we know more about our holdings.
Wonderful. That is one of the things that I think anybody that wants to go out and look and help find information may be able to help solve the mystery.
Yeah, that's where we need, some group effort. I do have all the recent owners identified, current owners and recent owners, and we we saw the Holland vases in the inventory in about 1910. And we did that. We looked in the local newspaper we have that in a room right next to the museum, the whole holdings of the local newspaper that carry these stories. It's interesting, John Fenton is buried in the town, in a cemetery in the town, along with his wife and child. He lost his child and wife before him. But John Fenton is a fascinating individual, and he was a creative, he was brilliant, he was a marketing person through and through. Everybody said that he was a nice man, not, he needed a person to help him with finances. Yeah. That's what he needed.
Yeah, and that's what can take a business down sometimes.
That's right. The creative person needs a regulator at their side.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. My father was the dreamer who dealt with glass and sold glass to mom and pop jewelry stores when there was such a thing as a bridal registry. My mom was the practical person, and she regulated him, and that was how it worked for years and years. Forever.
Well, I'm sure that you are a benefit to the hobby. You are a benefit to the community. We thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. And we'd like to show a few pictures of what you have out here.
Okay.
But
I'm welcome it.
We'll throw up the address on the bottom so that people know where to come, and hope we can get them here.
Yeah. I thank you.